Shannon, how much confidence do you have in the Cavs defense?
I have a lot of confidence in them for the simple fact they know what they're up against. We've seen times that when they lock in and focus, they can hold teams down. Hell, Boston, I think the one quarter held them 15 points, did something very similar to Indiana. I think they'll be able to focus for the simple fact they know what they're up against. They know if you have a lull against this team, you're down by 20. They can score 45, 50 points in a quarter and blow you smooth out the gym. So I know they will be focused in this situation. Another thing, Skip, is that what the Warriors do a very good job of, they are a team that takes a lot of difficult shots and they make them. And you see guys shoulders start to slump. They look to the bench like, what am I supposed to do? But you can't lose focus because a lot of what the shots they take are meant to do just that, to demoralize their opponent. Mm-hmm. If Steph Curry is going all behind his back and between his legs and he pulls up from 35, what are you supposed to do about that? Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it, JR. Just hug up to him as best you can and, hey, hope the next one doesn't go in. Mm. That's what you have to do. They can't leave guys open like they left Indiana, Toronto, and Boston because the guys that you're talking about possibly leaving open, that's KD. That's Steph Curry. That's Klay Thompson. Now, Klay is struggling a little bit, and maybe that's because his legs chasing Patty Mills around all those screens, but he averaged 14 points in this last series. They will dig in. They will play a lot better. Kyrie knows, he knows the other point guard. He knows what he's up against. LeBron knows what KD is. KD knows what he's up against. JR knows what Klay Thompson can do to him. So I'm not really overly concerned because I believe they'll lock in for 48 minutes every game because if they don't, they know what the Warriors want to do. The Warriors just don't want to beat them. The Warriors want to obliterate them. They want to annihilate them. They want to embarrass them.
So for once on a topic involving these finals and LeBron James, I'm not going to try to blow you out of the water on this one. I give you all the points you just made.
But
I do have respect for the way the Cavs have played the Warriors in the past.
Right.
I underline, in the past. 2 finals ago, they held Golden State 10 points under their regular season average, and I was impressed. And that was without mostly Kyrie and all of Kevin Love, right? Mm-hmm. And then last year in the finals, they held Golden State 15 points under their regular season average. They got rough with them. They got tough with them. I thought they intimidated Steph and Klay and whoever was out there on the perimeter. They played some football in a high-stakes basketball game, and that had a lot to do with why they reversed their fortunes and won the last 3 games. So I'm going to give you all that. But I'm also going to give you a second-level stat. If we exclude Kyle Lowry, who didn't play all that much in the Toronto series, and when he did, he wasn't very good, and if we exclude Isaiah Thomas in the Boston series, that means that the Cavs have yet to face a top 25 player in what's called real plus-minus, which is a pretty telling stat, in these playoffs. Golden State has 3 of those. So all of a sudden, the task elevates exponentially. That's why I'm fascinated by this series, because this is it. This is the essence of what's about to happen in the series. Can the Cavs keep the Golden State Warriors from scoring what they usually score? Because if they can't, this is going to be a rout.
Yes.
Okay? So now, the huge advantage here is going to be the so-called death lineup of the Golden State Warriors, because all of a sudden the death lineup added the Grim Reaper, Kevin Durant.
Correct.
So you're going to have to help me walk me through the strategy here. If Golden State goes quote-unquote small, they still have Kevin Durant and Draymond on the floor, both of whom can defend the post, so they're still pretty good. So if they bring in Iguodala along with Steph and Klay, help me out. Kevin Love is going to guard
Draymond.
Draymond?
Yes.
Who's going to guard Iguodala? Tristan? I mean, how are you going to do it?
I don't. If they go to that lineup, they can't play big. If you play big, you got to be willing to punish them down low. Tristan Thompson is not a back-to-the-basket type player. He's a guy that dives, gets balls, alley-oops.
But I'm talking about who's going to guard whom, because for Cleveland, you're in trouble because I assume LeBron has to guard KD. And I'm assuming Kyrie's going to stay on Steph, and JR could take Klay, and then Tristan. Now, pick your poison. Is Tristan going to play Draymond? I would assume so, which leaves Kevin Love on Iguodala.
Well, you know, a lot of times when they go with their second unit, they'll go LeBron, they'll go Darren Williams, they'll go Kyle Korver, they will go Shumpert, and they'll go either Kevin Love or Tristan Thompson. Occasionally, they'll switch up and go Channing Frye. So that's the lineup I'll see them going to. They will probably bring in Shumpert to guard Klay, and they'll have Kevin Love guard Draymond, and then everybody else match up from there.
Okay, but to me, Kevin Love is going to become at times, maybe long stretches, the odd man out that you can't cover for him on defense. He's not very good on defense, even though he made a steal late in the game on the perimeter in Game 7 that helped turn the game around.
Did you see that D he put on Steph?
That's what I'm saying.
Steph
yeah.
couldn't shake it.
Couldn't shake him.
Couldn't shake. Oh, he's going all behind his back.
you know
Kevin
what?
Love was sitting down in that chair like, come here.
I'll take that every time, and I think you're going to be in big trouble.
K-Love said, hey, when you get done patting it behind your back, going between your legs, he's like, I'm going to be right over here because I know you're coming back because you're a right-handed shooter. So I know you got to come back to me to try to get that shot off. So when you get done doing all that over there, I'll be right here.
Which brings me to the even bigger issue here. How hurt was Steph Curry in last year's finals or playoffs in general? His brother sat right here, his younger brother, and said he was hurt, lost his burst, lost his step of quickness, lost that gear, and now he's got it back. And I said the other day, I've never seen Steph Curry play better than he has over about the last month or so. So I also point out to you this. Last year, LeBron got to guard. Who was that guy? That guy who went to Dallas? Oh, yeah, Harrison Barnes. Remember that guy? How soon we forget because
he couldn't make a shot.
He couldn't make a shot in Game 5, 6, or 7 because he scores 5.0 points in Game 6, and then he had 10 in Game 7. But total, he shot 5 for 32 in the 3-game stretch, was 16%. 3 for 15 from 3, which is 20%. Couldn't get to the free throw line, shot 4 and made 2. So he was a liability that LeBron James, who, if we see any decline in LeBron's game, it's on the defensive end, where he just sort of roams now and likes to play center field and just disrupt and disturb and do whatever he feels like. And I get that, but he could get away with a lot more of that against Harrison Barnes than he can against Kevin Durant. All of a sudden, the stakes go way up for LeBron on his responsibilities on defense, which could take something out of him on offense. So all of a sudden, the whole dynamic is changing because LeBron's going to have to guard Kevin Durant, unless they switch some and he plays Draymond or
And I think that had a lot to do with Steph not being able to do what he needed to do offensively because he had to guard Kyrie. And that's what you have, a scorer, you must make him play defense because if you allow him to rest, he will punish you on the offensive end. Well, you guarding Kyrie, you can't rest. Steph couldn't rest. He had to guard Kyrie. And what did they do? They ran a lot of pick and roll with LeBron and Kyrie because guess what? That means Steph Curry has got to post up with LeBron. Now, it's going to be a lot different now because what are they going to do, Skip? What will the Warriors do if they go high pick and roll with a LeBron and Kyrie? Steph Curry's back on James again. Back down, back down, shoot over the top.
Okay, that's fine. But if the other team just keeps scoring and scoring and scoring and you can't get a stop, that won't be enough.
We're going to get some. Hold on, Skip. You make it seem like we are the generals or something.
Okay, so I'll swing this on you. What if Clay does to Kyrie what he did to my little man, Patty Mills? And I'm not saying Patty Mills is Kyrie Irving because he's not, but he was my Spurs fire starter. He was their little engine that could. He was an igniter off the bench and then finally in the starting lineup in place of Tony Parker. And you know what Clay did to him?
Did you see Christmas? Christmas Day?
Yeah, I saw it.
Who was that shot on?
It was over Clay.
And how many points
Last
did Kyrie
possession.
have? Listen, ain't no one-on-one, nobody stopping Kyrie. Did you see what he just did to Avery Bradley?
You know what?
Avery Bradley is every bit of the defender that Klay Thompson is.
I saw an amazing thing happening down the stretch to Klay Thompson, who we've seen ignite for what are his quarters? I can't remember what he's had.
Well, he had 37.
37 and a quarter, right?
Yes.
So clearly, he is a big-time scorer. I've often said nobody on the Warriors can get hotter than Klay can when he gets hot. He can get hotter than Steph can. Not saying he's a better player, but he can get hotter.
Absolutely.
I thought he swallowed his pride. He checked his ego at the locker room door. And down the stretch, he said, through the playoffs, I'll just play defense. We got plenty of scoring. So I'm going to give every ounce of my energy and effort on the defensive end.